another Dungeon Quest suggestions video today because we have quite a few suggestions. Obviously, it's not going to be as big as every other video that we have because these suggestions that we have today are really big ones, but I thought you guys would like to know them, and obviously a big theory of my own. So let's jump straight into the video for today. So I have 6 suggestions here for you guys today because hello, we love doing suggestion videos. We love being able to give you guys all of the suggestions that are happening in the Dungeon Quest Discord right now, and obviously I do have a few suggestions of my own as well, but we're going to start with other people's suggestions today. So we're going to start with Jaden157 saying, I would like to see some kind of perk system come into the game, like different variants or armor and weapons that give stuff like a buff, like more of health, or you take more damage but also deal more. And I think it would give a higher tier player something else to grind for to get the perk that works best for them, and I don't know how much of a game changer this would make, and it would probably be hard to balance out all of the perks within a dungeon, but I personally would like to see this come to Dungeon Quest. My theory relates to some of these suggestions, just so you guys are aware, but I really think this would be a really good idea just to add something brand new into the game and also a new way to grind and just have some fun, especially with a new point system. But the next one is actually going to be a massive suggestion made by Dev LaFury, and it's going to be the speedrun revamp. So obviously revamp the current speedrun system so there can be more categories and give more guilds and individuals a chance to show their strengths and skills inside of the game. All speedrun categories are required to use the same gear as the dungeon that they are speedrunning or previous gear from that dungeon, and spells/abilities would be determined by the certain category. So speedruns are currently done where guilds compete for the top 3 in dungeons that causes other guilds to lose their chance at showing their skill. I believe that there should be at least top 10 or more so more guilds can be displayed in the rankings, and this can be done by displaying the results with a simple document or using the speedrun.com website. There should be an individual speedruns where a user has to complete a dungeon by themselves, and this can be done through showing video footage that they've completed the speedrun in that time and other evidence that they don't use any form of exploits or a tool to assist them in their speedruns. I get where you're coming from with this idea, but the entire purpose that we do have with guild managers right now is to officially verify them in a run. Yes, it does give 30% more in it, but we are hoping to see if we can get Vinny to add in a system where you can spectate people's games and spectate people's runs. So hopefully we don't have to rely on people sending in videos, because videos can be heavily edited, and I have actually proved this myself to certain people. You can edit them very easily, very slightly, and just make sure that it can just be the exact same thing. So the next thing that he said is the categories and guilds without speed spells. Guilds speedrun for the rankings with the same dungeon gear and spells, and they are not allowed to use speed spells since they completely alter the time of a speedrun. We also have guilds with speed spells, being the same thing but with speed spells. And obviously an individual without speed spells, individuals will do a solo run of a dungeon without speed spells and go for the rankings. Individuals will show video proof and other forms of evidence that they did the run without any form of exploits or tools to assist them in their speed run. And they must also not use speed spells, and obviously the same thing but with speed spells for individuals with them. And obviously the speed spells, these are speed spells used in runs with speed spells, which includes Blade Storm, Vortex, Mighty Leap, Smite, Arrow Rain, Pulse Waves, Life Dash, all of those. You guys get what I mean. And obviously they wouldn't be included since they increase damage and all of those types of things as well. But I get the suggestion, but as I said, we are looking into ways to implement other things as well. But now we have Commander Sentry's suggestion being make a store that sells the skills 2 dungeons down and lower. This way nobody needs to play Desert Temple 10 times to get Innovate or play Steampunk for an hour to get Life Dash. Skills will be sold for 100 times or less their sell value, and legendary skills will either not be sold or be sold when you are 3 to 4 dungeons above the respective dungeon. I like it, but if it's a new dungeon, I think it would have to be the same implementation as daily rewards being added in a few weeks later. Obviously, even Aquatic Temple dailies haven't even been added yet. We're still waiting on that. Hopefully within the next few days they get added in, but we do have 3 more suggestions for this today. So This suggestion is actually going to be from Ninetail, and it's going to be about the Excalibur quest. And they said, I also have an idea for the final Excalibur quest. Make a new small dungeon, and the dungeon will have 2 bosses and 2 different mobs. The 2 mobs can be the Wise Mage, which can cast a big range of spells similar to Canal's mages, and the Brute Warriors. There will be buffs, and they will be buff and have very strong melee attacks. For the bosses, he had 2 ideas. Because it's Excalibur, why not make the final boss King Arthur? And the first boss is obviously Merlin. He will barrage the floor and cast stunning spells similar to the Lord Varosh and Archmage combined. And as for King Arthur, he will do a lot of air slices, and every 10 seconds he pierces his sword into the ground, creating a big shockwave that goes around the whole arena that can only be dodged by jumping at the right time. And for the level, I thought making the level 0 and having the enemies be scaled similar to Egg Island, or you can scale the damage and HP based off the player's damage. And this dungeon will not be able to be done in a group. It is for solo only and has no hardcore mode. I know there are major plans in the works for the Excalibur quest. I'm not sure if it's going to be a dungeon, but I will say you currently have to at least be up to volcanic chambers, I think it was. You have to at least be near volcanic chambers, orbital outposts, to even be able to complete the new dungeon. So hopefully it is based off of that level, maybe even up to aquatic temples at this point in time. But levels will be a factor, I would say, because you're going to have to be level to complete something, because as I said, you've got to be at least up to orbital to collect one of the final eggs in the 5th rune, I think it is, or the 4th rune. I've lost track, let's be honest, but I would love to see the Excalibur quest finally come out very, very soon, and hopefully it comes out so soon. And now we have the last 2 suggestions from the Discord and my own suggestion. So this person, I have no idea how to say your name, Kashimioka? I have no idea, I feel like I'm butchering your name. But they said, add the option where we can change spell particle quality to low so we don't get blinded by the water beams in AT, dungeon, or other spells. Yes, we need something, because the dungeon is so laggy when you are in big groups because of all of the spell particles and just everything in total. But I will also say, can we have a different color spell for the mobs? Because I cannot tell what is a mob spell and what is my friend doing a spell. It's crazy. I know that you should be able to tell, but if you are in a group of 40 people, you cannot tell where those lines are, and it is very annoying when you just die and you're like, wait, I thought that was my friend's spell, but no, it was like an actual stack of the mobs itself. But this final suggestion for today is from Pibblized and all of the legendary spell concepts for a heaven-themed dungeon. So we have the Celestial Warzone Warrior one, being the user summons a warrior zone that constantly deals 8 to 10 consecutive medium ticks to any enemy in the zone and gives the user a slight speed boost during the duration. And after 4 to 5 seconds, the zone expires and explodes, dealing a large amount of damage to any enemy within the range. And the edge of the zone will be decorated with anything to Vinny's liking. Obviously, it could be a 6-second cooldown and starting after the zone explodes. We also have the Graceful Mirror Dance Mage weapon, which would be the user transforms into light while summoning 5 mirrors. The user then dashes into the mirror, getting reflected into another mirror, and the user gets reflected 8 times, dealing 8 ticks of medium damage. And after the spell ends, it grants the user a slight speed boost while using the spell, and the user becomes untargetable for a 6-second cooldown as well. And since these spells are light/heaven themed, maybe make the new map can be a heaven themed map. Furthermore, since these spells are AoE, maybe make the new dungeon viable for AoE spells, being the Angelic Restoration for a healing spell, I'm guessing. Ooh, okay. Make nearby alleys invulnerable for 1 to 2 seconds, giving the people with the effects of an angelic flaming wings, and after the effect ends, it heals for 4 ticks. An 8-second cooldown starts right after the healing over time effect wears off. And the Guardian's Battle Call, which gives allies 20% damage buff and plus 20% more HP, but we have gone over those 2 in the last video before, and obviously I would like to see these. I think it'd be really cool. A heaven themed dungeon would be great. We've already got like an underworld, which is kind of like hell, but now we could have a heaven themed or god themed type world inside of Dungeon Quest. So obviously You guys are probably wondering what the thumbnail and the title is about, and obviously this is going to be my own theory. I would like to see a skill tree system added inside of Dungeon Quest. Obviously, we see things like this in other games like Dead by Daylight, or even just normal games like, you know, World War Z have skill points and different skill systems where you can add in different perks. I think this would be a great way to add in different perks, as we did see within the first few suggestions, adding in things so it's like you have a 20% damage reduction, but you deal 20% more and things like that. I think it would be a really good system. So for example, you get 1 point for level, oh my goodness, for like, I just hiccuped during that, but like you get like 1 point for leveling up to level 100, and then you can add that into either a health buff where you like, or where like you gain extra health, or you put it into like a shield one, whereas like you have a 30% damage resistance, but when you do get damaged, you like take more, something along those lines. But what do you guys think of that? Would you guys like to see a skill tree added into Dungeon Quest? I personally would love to see one. I think it'd be a really cool way to add in a brand new way to the game, and obviously all of these suggestions can be found on the Dungeon Quest suggestions channel inside of the Discord. And if you guys do have more of them, we do check them out every single day, or at least I do, and I do send them over to Vinny. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you guys are brand new to the channel. Also, make sure to hit the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a video or start a stream. Videos should be coming back. I've just had to do a few things over the last few days. It's been super hot. My computer's been crashing, and sorry for all of that. But yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely day or night wherever you guys may be in the world, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Bye, guys.